Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have an excellent video coming your way. We're going to learn some stuff. I am thrilled on one hand and from what you'll see, and then I'm sad on the other hand. I'll tell you about the being sad at the end. But I know most of you guys, you may watch every day, but quick catch up for you guys that maybe have seen our channel for the first time. We've had an issue. We do weddings, and my wife shoots too, and she's had the Canon 580EX2 for ever since it came out. 15 years, maybe, somewhere in there, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It has just disappeared. We don't know where it went. So I've been on this mad search for a good flash. So we looked at the newer Z2. I'll post that video down at the bottom if you want to see the Z2 results from the newer flash. So I went and got the Godox V1 Pro. It's a little expensive. This is it. And if you notice, it's got the little flash right here that fills in. Now, if you take your flash all the way down, this little flash will not go off. But if you come up, or bounce, then it comes on. Or obviously you can take it off. But if you're going to keep it on, you got to be all the way down for it to not flash. If you come up a little bit, it'll flash. And if you bounce like you normally bounce off the ceiling and down, this light is supposed to be fill light, and this throws light around the room. Now, we did not have very good luck newer Z2, even though I think that could be a good flash. I just don't think that particular one was doing good. I'm not sure. I don't want to say, hey, don't buy a newer flash. I love most newer stuff, but that flash, it was a little bit off, not exactly what I wanted. So I take our weddings very, very seriously. We've photographed over 1,000 in our career, and every wedding is super important to me. So anyway, with that said, today we are recording on the Lumix G9 with a very, very special lens that I've absolutely fell in love with. I will show you it. We're going to have a video on just this cool lens in about 2.5 weeks. But you'd be waiting to check that out because it's going to be a fantastic review of an amazing lens. This is the Godox flash that we bought. So we did some test shots. We went up into the studio and shot some pictures against a gray background, against a black background to see what it would do. And we also shot outside. Now the outside pictures, obviously you can't bounce because you got, the sky, you're not going to get much, but I did some straight on without this on, and then I would bring this up a little bit and leave this on. So let's look at the difference. Let's check out the inside pictures that we shot first. Hey guys, I just want to take this second of your time. If you guys would please hit like and subscribe, it would go a long ways toward helping our channel and help us keep making these videos. Thank you. Because I think those show the biggest difference. It's not even a little difference. It is a massive, massive difference. And as soon as you see these inside pictures, I'm going to tell you more about this flash. All right, guys, so now we're inside in the studio. It's a little dark, so I got the lights off. I got one light so you can kind of see me in the video. I'm going to leave it kind of facing the other way. And we're going to shoot her up against the background, but we're inside now. So now that we're inside, I can use the ceiling for a bounce flash, and then we can really tell how this little light in the front, this little pretend flash, I call it a little pretend flash, it looks like a little bitty, tiny little point and shoot flash that would almost do nothing. But actually it's stronger than you'd think. I was playing with it manual the other day and it was putting out a lot of light. But so I'm going to bounce the flash and have this little flash hitting her face. And then we're going to go back down and just directly on and see what it looks like. So let's see what we got. And again, we're shooting manual. We're shooting manual on the camera because we don't want too much being decided. We want the camera to have to do as little as possible. So I'm going to control the camera in manual, let the camera do its thing, and the camera and the flash work together in TTL. So in here, I'm going to go to ISO 400. 1/80th of a second, f4, see how it looks? Here we go, good. That is directly at her with no little flash. Now we're gonna bounce and see what the little flash can do. That little flash is really cool because it lights up more of the area. I'm gonna show you the picture. The first picture, she looks good, but the second one gave me a lot more light in the room. So let's do that again, I kinda like that. So let's try it again. I'm going to go a little wider this time and see how much light it is putting out. Wow, I'm impressed with that. Let's go straight back at her and see the difference. Now she looks good in that shot. That's pretty cool. She looks good directly on. As far as you can look good, direct flash, kind of harsh light. But when I bounce it, I get, I'll show you what I'm talking about. That is one that's bounced. See the light around you? Same shot. This is bounced. This is bounced with a little light. See the extra light, and this is directly at you. See the difference?
Yeah.
So it really puts out a lot of light. I'm gonna do one more of her on the black background and see what we can get on that. So let's see what happens. So, is that right there? We're at 1/60th f4 ISO 400. She looks good right there, but I'm having a feeling when I bounce this, we're gonna get even better light. And I'd be correct. I'm honestly really impressed with this little flash in the front. I'm surprised because, I don't know, it just looks so little. This looks like it would just throw some light like 5 feet and be really harsh, but it actually lights up. You'll see the pictures, the ones that are straight on, she looks good, but the ones that I'm bouncing with this light, the bounce light adds light to the entire room, and this feels light on her. I'll do one more. But I really like the little flash being added to it. I just think it gives it a little bit more. That's you directly with the, sorry. That's you with the direct flash, and that's you with the bounce flash. Direct and bounce.
Too harsh.
Direct is very harsh, and that little flash in the front. I think it's more this bouncing and spreading light over the entire room, and then this has just enough left to fill her eyes, and that's what we've been looking for. The Z2 was all over the place, so we hadn't seen that. So I was kind of hoping I wouldn't be as impressed with this flash because I really want to check out that Westcott one that's cheaper, but I'm impressed with these. So let's go look at the pictures. We'll talk about them and see what you guys think. See if you guys have used this flash. Let me know. Let me know what you think about this little flash in front, and let's go from there. All right, guys, that was the inside photo shoot in the studio. A little dark. The video camera wasn't set up perfectly. We were just doing some shots to test the flash, so you got to forgive the little headroom thing. We're kind of limited on space up there. We're still working on that area. My bigger studio used to be down here, but YouTube's growing so fast that we turned this into our YouTube studio, and we have different sets around. So we moved the photography upstairs, and we do YouTube in the basement. So that's kind of why my head's cropped off, because there's not a lot of room up there to do a whole lot of stuff. But the images, oh man, did you see the difference between the bounce and the straight on? The straight on was so harsh, but the bounce was amazing. What happens, this is what I believe, this is my opinion, so, you know, that's it. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. But obviously when you're all the way down with this flash, this little light, this little fill light, we'll call it a little fill light from here on, this little fill light isn't going to come on. Click up, now it will come on, and I was bouncing off the ceiling like this. And the harshness, that if you go straight on, the harshness in those pictures is crazy. Now she is lit up good and she's super sharp, but it's way too sharp and way too harsh. I mean, it just hits your face and it's just so, it's just rough, you can tell. But when you bounce this flash, here's what I think happens. The flash goes up to the ceiling, spreads out light all over the room. This little light then will fill the light in her eyes. Now, most of the time, if you're doing a bounce flash, you may have to adjust your flash to like +1 or 1.5, depending on how high the ceiling is, because you're not sending direct light at her. Now you're bouncing off the ceiling. If you don't have one of these on front of your flash, which most flashes don't, then you have to make a little compensation. It's not the end of the world, but that's what you have to do. Otherwise, it'll be a little dark. But this little fill light did amazing in there. I could not believe this little bit. I mean, this thing is so little. Check this thing out. This. Look how big that is. There's my thumb beside this flash. It's tiny. I thought we would get like nothing out of this thing. I thought it looks like it might go 5 or 6 feet. And it looks like it belongs on like a point and shoot camera. But I'm going to tell you, you saw those pictures. So I am impressed. Now, shooting straight on with any flash, you're going to get harsh lights, but you could see the difference between just how harsh it was versus bouncing. It was incredibly different. I mean, not even anybody could tell the difference in that. You don't have to be a photographer. You show those two pictures, 99.9% everybody's going to immediately see the difference. It is way harsh when you are straight on, but it is beautiful when it comes out. And it's not only beautiful on her face, but when you're bouncing, you're throwing light all over the room, so you're lighting up more area around her. So if you're in a dark area, it doesn't look like she's the only one there with only dark around her, even though she may be exposed properly. It's completely dark everywhere else. When you bounce, you're spreading your light out, and you're getting pretty light behind her also. So with that said, let's go take a look and see what the cool Godox flash can do outside. So let's go see. Okay guys, we're outside. It's getting a little bit past sunset, but we're gonna try to do some shots. I got the ISO at 800 because it is a little bit dark, but we're gonna use the Godox V1 Pro with a little flash in the front. We're gonna do some with the flash in the front and some not using the flash in the front. So let's get started and see what we can get. Okay. And that was just the main flash, not the little flash too. So I'm gonna pull it up so we'll get a little bit of both of them. If you're straight on like this flash doesn't work. But when you come up to bounce, this flash works. Or if you lift it up just a little bit, this flash will work. So we're not inside. We've done some pictures inside, so we'll check those out. I just wanted to see what TTL would do outside at the moment. So let's shoot a few more. That looks good. Let's see. I'll up that ISO a little bit more. Shoot manual so that the only thing being done by the camera is the V1. Everything else is done manually. So I'm gonna drop my shutter speed because it is kind of dark out here. We'll go down to 150, and it's a little bit slow for this lens, but we'll see what we can do. Trying to get a little bit more light behind her because it is so dark. She looks really good with the flash. I'm gonna bring it up a tad. So that looks really good. The V1 is doing much, much better than the newer Z2 did, even with the flash on or the flash off. So I think by the time we're done with this, we're gonna see that the V1 is a much better flash than the newer Z2. You can tell that from the previous video we did. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down at the bottom. But let's finish this video. We're gonna do some inside and we'll check them all out and we'll talk about it in a few minutes. All right, guys, there are the outside pictures. I liked them. Now, the one thing I would have done, I haven't done it because we know we just got this, I would put a diffuser on this if I was shooting outside, because obviously you can't bounce off the sky. But I did go some straight on, flat down, and then I would raise it up a little bit. The differences outside weren't near as much, but had I had a diffuser, it would have looked much better. It would have softened it up. But the exposure, I think, was nailed on all of them. The color balance is perfect. This little thing just surprised the heck out of me. Now, I loved the difference. I loved the way, and I didn't skip any. I didn't have any that went bad or any that didn't fire, any off color. I didn't have any of those. You saw all the pictures that were shot. So you see how consistent it is. It's consistent and puts out beautiful light, bouncing inside. And if we had a diffuser with me, I would have put it on outside. That would have softened up the outside some, but the outside looked great too. So the outside had the good exposure, and we were getting out there. We wanted to be out there about sunset, but we were a little late. We kind of missed the sunset, so it was pretty dark. I think I was shooting around ISO 800, and I dropped the shutter at one point, I think, down to 1/50th of a second, which is really not, it's not really something you should do when you're using a 24 to 70. And I was using 24 to 105. It's not something you should do using the 24 to 105 lens, just so you don't get any blur. But the stabilization on the Canon R6 was so good that 1/50th of a second handheld was not a problem. So I am thoroughly impressed with this Godox V1. Now, first of all, Godox didn't send me this flash, bought it with my own money. Godox is an affiliate of ours, but so is Newer. And I did a flash on them, and I told you what I thought about that flash. So I'm being honest with you guys. If I like it, I'll tell you about it. If I don't like it, I'll tell you about that too. I'm not going to recommend you guys to buy anything that I wouldn't buy myself. That's the way it is. I don't care if they're an affiliate or not. How big they are, how small they are, you're going to get my real opinion. And that's just how I am. I've been doing this almost 41 years. I have a lot of experience doing this. So I don't really care if anybody's happy with how I review their equipment. Sorry, guys. If it's good, I'm going to love it. If it's not good, like we bought some weird, I don't even remember the brand, like a $90-something full frame, and it listed for Canon RX. So I bought it. It was an 85 millimeter. There's a video from a few weeks ago. That thing was a piece of garbage. It wouldn't even lock onto the lens. All you had to do was focus it, and it was manual focus, so you did have to focus it. Every time you turn to the right, the lens just come off in your hand. And I went to that video. If you want to go back and look at that video, I definitely gave my full opinion of how much I disliked that lens. So if you're new and watching, I'm not somebody that's just going to say, hey, this is great, go buy this so I can make $5. Not that way. I'm gonna tell you how it is. So I guess the last thing I want is anybody writing me saying, hey, I bought that flash or that camera you recommended. It's a piece of crap. I hate you. You're not going to get that from me. I promise. I'm going to tell you what I think. So anyway, I was amazed at the difference of that flash inside, the consistency, the color, the difference, just how strong that little fill light is was amazing. I mean, look how small that thing is. I know I keep showing you, but it's so freaking small. Now here's what I'm sad about. I'm sad because this is an expensive flash. And I have been reviewing flashes. I've been looking at them for over 40 years, but in the last few weeks, I've been on a mad hunt because the only backup we have for my wife is a Canon 430, and it's like almost 20 years old. It works, but it does not need to be a #1 flash at a wedding. It's okay to have as a backup, but I don't want to put it on her camera because she shoots and I shoot too. I did not want to put that flash on her camera and say, go at it, because I just not that confident with it. And this is people's weddings and they spend a lot of money, so they deserve the best quality you can give them. That's what I try to do. Doesn't mean you have to spend $12,000 on everything you buy. You don't have to buy a crazy, extreme, brand new Canon R5 Mark II with whatever, 500 megapixels and 12K video. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to make money. I've done it for over 40 years. Happy customers. You need the right equipment, but doesn't necessarily mean you need the most expensive equipment. You just need the right equipment. So with that said, this was about $340, I think, $340. Now, of course, the Pro Photo is like $1,000, and if you could purchase a Canon EL1, I don't think they've had any in stock for almost 3 years, they're about $1,200. And so even if you wanted the tie-in Canon flash, I don't think you could get it. I haven't seen anybody that had it in stock in over 2 years. So I don't even know if they're going to try to make them anymore. And then you got to worry about that new EL1. Not only is it expensive, but it don't fit every camera. Like I looked at the EL5 Canon flash. It won't go on my Canon R6. It'll go on the R6 Mark II because you have to have this special hot shoe on your camera right here. A hot shoe for you guys that maybe are learning. This is your hot shoe for your camera. You may have heard the term hot shoe and the term cold shoe. Hot shoe will actually power my flash. A cold shoe doesn't have any power. It's just something you can mount, like if you have an LED light or something you need to mount onto this, but it won't supply any power. So that's the difference between a cold shoe and a hot shoe. But some of the new flashes that Canon is putting out won't fit a lot of the cameras that they make, which makes no freaking sense. Why are you going to make these expensive flashes and they fit 4 of your cameras? That's insanity. I don't get it. And not to mention, why have they not been in stock in 2 years? I just don't get it. I think that Godox and Newer and Westcott, some of them are just saying, "Sure, we got you," because you can get these flashes are so good, built so well, put out such a good light. You just don't need to spend that much money on a Canon flash. And I think they've realized that, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to forget about the flash stuff and let everybody else make the flashes. That's my opinion. Who knows? They may come up with a flash tomorrow that's $400 and fits every camera they make, but I doubt it. But anyway, what did you guys think about those pictures? Do any of you guys have the V1 Pro? Have you used it? What's your opinion? What flash are you using if you're shooting weddings? Because I do a lot of stuff. But weddings is our biggest thing. Weddings, models, senior portraits, you name it. We've done it all. Corporate shoots. So I can't think of anything pretty much we haven't done. We've done dog shows. We've done, I can't even think of just so much stuff over the last 40 years. It's crazy, but that's an impressive flash. Oh, what I'm sad about, I'm just rambling. What I'm sad about is this. Like I said, this is about $360. And Westcott has one that has a full digital back. Now they have one that's full digital back. It's around the same price as this one. I was going to try it, but they also have a Westcott FJ80 SE, I believe it's called. It's $199, but it don't have this little flash, which we've gone many decades without this, but it works so cool as you saw in the pictures. Now I want this, even though it costs so much more. I wanted to try out the Westcott, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go without this now that I've used it. It's perfect. The pictures, it didn't miss an exposure. It didn't miss anything. You can go back and look at that review we did of the V1 versus the newer Z2, and you can see the Z2 is all over the place. When you go to bounce it, if you don't make about a 1.5 stop plus adjustment on your TTL, your picture is going to look like crap. You're not going to have any light on it. It was kind of hot when we first went outside to shoot. The Z2 was a little bit hot. Wasn't the end of the world. I just made an adjustment and it was fine. Color balance outside was fine, but the color balance inside, not so much. Not near as good as this lens. And as this flash. It's a pretty flash, and it also uses the cool lithium batteries that you can get. I think it's 550 pictures on here. I have 4 of those that I take to weddings for our multiple flashes, so they're always charging. If I've done a lot of shooting with this one, I'll pop it out, pop in the one that's fully fresh, and then just switch back and forth as I go. And my wife, she does the same thing. And that's the one good thing about being in the Godox system is once you're in the Godox system, you're set. Everything works with everything. But anyway, guys, what do you think? Let me know. I don't know that I can beat this flash. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry to ramble on, but I'm truly excited about this flash. It was absolutely so cool, so amazing, and so dead on. A little expensive, but what you gonna do? But anyway, let me know. Also, if any of you guys have that Westcott FJ80, either the FJ80 SE or the other FJ80, I don't forget what it's called, but the one that has a full digital back. Let me know how you like it, because I had considered checking it out, but now I probably won't unless somebody says, hey, check out that Westcott. If you guys say to check it out, I'll go check it out. But anyway, thanks for watching. If we're helping you guys at all, down below you can hit a buy me a coffee if you want to. But only if you're getting something from me and we're helping you out and you have a few extra bucks. Don't stress about it. It's just something we're doing. It's kind of cool. We got some cool stuff coming from you guys. We have a PDF mini book, I guess you could call it, or a PDF book. I don't know the terms for all these things, but it's going to be like a PDF book for beginners. It's going to go over everything. I'm trying to keep it around 25 to 30 pages. It'll go over your shutter, your aperture, and your ISO, the basics for learning photography. So stick with us. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Hit subscribe, guys. Give us that thumbs up. Have a great day. And go check out the Godox V1 Pro. You'll like it. Have a good day. Thanks.